Okay, so, excuse me. This is lesson 3.5. 3.6 is another video, so this is just covering inequality, expressions to inequality, equations to inequalities, lesson 3-5. Please, thank you. All right, so you've seen these guys before, these symbols down here. An inequality, and if it's unequal, so to speak, then that means that something isn't equal or unequal. The thing itself is called an inequality. An inequality is a mathematical sentence that uses less than or equal to, greater than or equal to, or does not equal, to compare two quantities. And you see the symbols down here. You've seen these before. The only ones that might be new to you are the less than or equal to, and you can see that the less than and the greater than or equal to look very similar to these guys, the less than and the greater than, but they have this little line underneath the arrow symbol, the arrowhead symbol. So that means two things. It's either less than, the answer can be less than something, or equal to something. Down here, it might be another one, looks like a railroad tracks crossing, and all that means is it's an equal sign with a slash through it, and that just means it's not equal to. For example, 3 is less than 16, 12 is less than or equal to 12, which it is, 15 is greater than 10, 13 is greater than or equal to 7, so any number starting with 7 could work here, right, and going up. 7 is greater than or equal to 7, 8 is greater than or equal to 7, see what I'm saying? And then finally 9 does not equal 3. In algebra, when we use variables, for example, here would be b can be any number that's less than 6. Or 12 is less than m, or 12 is equal to m. So 12 can be any number starting with 12 and then less than 12. 15 is greater than t. That means that t has to be less than 15. And then the last one I'll look at, whatever number this is, it does not equal 3. So it can be any number except for 3. Okay, now here's some language. I'll give you some hints here. Okay, children under 6 ride free. So that means they have to be less than 6, right? Children ride free through age 6. Well, that means that it can't, I'll put a 6 here. If they can ride free through age 6, that means including age 6 or below, right? So that would be, I'll put an X. So any number, X is any number that's less than 6, because they can be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or they can be 6 years old, right? You must be older than, oops, use this color, good, older than 12. Not 12, but older than 12. So that means that it's going to be greater than 12. And then this one is, you must be at least 12. So that means you can be 12 or more than 12. So that would be an example of, it's going to be greater, your age must be greater than or equal to 12. And then finally, four apples are not equal to 3 mice. And they certainly are not. But the point is, they're not equal, so therefore you get the not equal sign. So that would look like this if you wrote it. 4, oops, better color, 4 is not equal to 3. Okay? All right. When you look at this, and this is important to know, the graph of an inequality is part of a number line, right? Open circle, like this, where the middle of the circle is open, it's not filled in with color. Open circle means that that number, in this case 5, is not a solution. That's all you need to know. It's not a solution. So in this case, it's shaded going to the right. Well, the numbers go greater, right? So therefore, the solution to the inequality can be any number x, so x represents any number that is greater than 5. So 6 works, 7 works, 8, as long as it's greater than 5, because the circle here was open, and that means that with the number that the graph started at, 5, is not a solution. Now, the opposite of that is if the circle is closed, and it is. See how it's filled in? And this graph goes off to the left, and that means that it starts at 7, it's less than 7, or it's equal to 7, right? So 7 can be part of the solution because the circle is filled in. That means that the numbers that are possible start at 7 and then they go down and they keep going, okay? All right, these are just examples of how to read a graph. So let's look at this one. B is less than 16. And when you see the variable, all it means is B is any number, but it has to be less than 16. So here we are. It starts at 16. It goes off to the left, so left less. And the circle is open, so that means that 16 is not a possible solution. So it's only numbers that are less than 16. How about this one? M can be any number that's less than or equal to 12. So it can start at 12, it goes off to the left because it's less than, but because the circle is filled in at the 12, that means the 12 is a possible solution. 12 can be one of the answers. How about this? T is any number that's greater than 15. Starts at 15, goes to the right, that means it's greater than, but the circle is open, so 15 is not part of the solution, so it's only numbers that are greater than that. A is greater than or equal to 57. Again, starts at 57, goes to the right, so greater than, and then the circle at 57, where it starts, is filled in, it's closed, so therefore 15 is a possible answer or a possible solution. And then finally, x, this is kind of like what we just talked about a minute ago. X can be any number that is not equal to 3. So it can be any number greater than 3 or any number less than 3, but just not 3. All right, here's some examples of when you would use an equation to write something, or if you would write it as an inequality. So if you have only one value or only one answer, only one value can make each of the following situations true. So you can model them with equations because it's exactly one answer. You ride your scooter 2 miles. Not 3, not 5, not 2, not 1, not 0. It's exactly 2 miles. So that would be an equation. That would be, like R for ride. Well, let me write that. It would be kind of like how to write that as an equation. So let's say distance. So distance equals 2. That's it. And your movie ticket costs $10. One price, $10. So let's say cost equals 10. So those are equations. There's only one possible answer. But down here, if you have more than one possible solution or more than one possible answer, more than one value can make each of the following situations true. So you can model them with inequalities, which means that there's more than one possible answer, if you want to think about it like that. You must be at least 48 inches tall to ride the bumper cars. So to write that, it would be x is any number that's greater than 48 or equal to 48, because like it says, you must be at least 48 inches tall. That means you can be 48 or any number of inches greater or more than 48, right? So it would be x is any number that's greater than or equal to 48. How about this one? You have less than 3 days to write a book report. Well, that's got more than one possible answer. It could be 2 days, could be 1 day. So the inequality would look like this. X is any number that's less than 3. It doesn't include 3. And finally, you have less than $10 to spend on snacks at the movie. So again, X is any number that is less than 10. If it said you can spend up to and including $10, then it would be less than or equal to. But it says, nope, less than 10. So it can't be 10. All right, let's decide on these. First one, are they equations? I'll write an E. Inequality, I'll write an I. You ride your scooter 2 miles. So if the question is, how far did you ride? You're going to give only one answer, 2. So I would say this is an equation because it's only got one value that works. You must be, and here's the key, at least 48 inches tall to ride the bumper cars. That means that you have more than one possible answer, more than one possible solution. It could be 48, it could be 49. So that means it's inequality. If it has more than one possible solution, it's, it's an inequality. So we'll put an I. How about the next one? You have less than 3 days, so really it's right here, we don't care about the days, to write a book report. Again, how many are less than 3 days? Well, the answer could be 2, and the answer could be 1, the answer could be 0. So that's going to be, you got it, that's going to be an inequality because it's got more than one possible solution. Your movie ticket, how much did it cost? $10. It didn't say at least $10. It said $10, exactly $10. So if it has only one possible answer, how much was it? $10. Then it's an equation. And finally, you have less than $10 to spend. Well, then how much does that mean? Does that mean 10? No, it says less than 10. What numbers are less than 10? 9, 8, 7. So if there's more than one solution, and there seems to be, then that is going to be an inequality. Okay? I hope this is making sense. Let me know if it's not, and you know what to do if it's not. Email. Bye-bye.